Hi, everybody. Bill Hague, Executive Vice President with Magid. I'm glad you could join us for this second part on our trust study that we conducted with the RTDNA organization. I'm joined with two colleagues, friends, partners, Ellen Crooke, Senior Vice President of News at TEGNA, and Sean McLaughlin, Vice President of News at EW Scripps. We partnered with both of them on this study and others who were on the board at RTDNA. Big, expansive, talked to a couple thousand people tackling this issue of trust in local news. So in the previous video, and if you haven't watched it, go back, watch that one. It's brief, but very focused, a little bit more at 35,000 feet. Today, we're getting to the action items, and there are 8 action items that we distilled out of this very large and exhaustive study. Ellen, we're going to divide them kind of in half. So
Sure.
You're going to take the first 4. So would you like to jump in?
I'd love to jump in. As you've been saying, we know all these things, but what can we do? First off, focusing on accuracy, even more than we might right now. Bringing in experts, asking tough questions, better onboarding of our new journalists, having a strong set of eyes, second set of eyes, and more fact checking built into your newsrooms. That's really what people are asking for. And next ties into that. Show your work. What have you done to be more accurate? Consistently sharing your news gathering process, and writing matters. Not writing in a way that you're trying to pat yourself on the back, but showing the audience's benefit of the work that you've done every day, consistently, not just in your big investigative stories, but every day. So focus on accuracy, show your work. And then the next is immerse in your market, in your community. It used to be okay to just say we cover the community. But when our audiences, what we heard from them, when they have so much news to choose from, if they're going to choose local news, you better damn well be local. Do you represent them when they can turn on the TV? And do they see people that are from the community? Do they see people that look like them? Do you only go into communities when there's a problem? Consider setting up your newsroom differently than you may ever had before. If they really want you to be immersed in your community, maybe beats are something we need to bring back so that people can live and breathe and eat and understand communities in a deeper way. Onboarding used to be teaching people about the tools in your newsroom. Maybe we ought to spend, with all these new people coming into our newsroom, a lot more time onboarding them into the knowledge of the community. And the fourth thing is fix the problems in your community. Look for solutions. Be part. If you really understand your community, then you understand how much they need us to help get things done. Really, what I think this is that the audience said they want hope. They don't just want you to come into their community to tell you all the things that are wrong, but they want a sense of hope when they're watching local news too. So those are the 4 first things.
Yeah, I love it. Sean, let's just keep it going. You want to jump into number 5?
Yeah, be boldly objective. This is another one that's different than it used to be. I mean, first of all, acknowledging we all have bias, right? I think pretending there's no bias, I think we all have different life experiences. We live in different places, and I think we all bring a different mindset to the table. So I think acknowledging that is the first part of it. And the other piece is this whole old adage of, hey, we got to get both sides of the story. Man, there's not 2 sides of the story. There's many sides to the story. And I think if you're a journalist today, you have to do a better job of identifying the different perspectives and the different stakeholders involved in coverage, and make a much more concerted effort to solicit more opinions, more thoughts. If you're thinking 2 sides, I think you're missing the mark, and you're not being as boldly objective as you need to be. Second one that really connects closely with this one involves scrutinize social media activity. Listen, everybody likes to share their opinion. Everybody has thoughts. Fact of the matter is, when we decided to become journalists, we give up part of that. We have to sometimes keep some things to ourselves. The fact of the matter is, people are watching. They're looking. If you're reporting, if you're a journalist, odds are somebody, and probably a lot of people, are scrutinizing your social media activity. What's this person's bias? What's their perspective? Do they have an agenda? There's a suspicious public right now based on everything that's going on. So we really have to be above board when it comes to the activity we participate in social media. The next one's a really big one. Own up to your mistakes. Man, when you get it wrong, fess up. You try to hide behind it or minimize it or justify it, it's going to bite you. I think people really have an expectation as the group of people who are supposed to hold the community and people in the community accountable. We have to hold ourselves accountable. And there's sort of a hypocrisy if we're holding other people to a different standard than we hold ourselves to. So that's a big one. And then the last one's memorable delivery, which, ties to, authenticity and the way you present yourself and the way you present your information, that there's a real person there, that it's something memorable, that it's not a robotic, phony persona that I think a lot of people say has become the staple when they watch local newscasts. So again, any of these individually, to Alan's point, it sounds like, oh yeah, but the fact is people aren't seeing these. So we do have to work to solve that gap that exists between what we think we're doing and what the audience sees when they consume our products.
No, I appreciate that. And I know people listening today are valuing getting this insight, how you interpreted the data, but also how you are interpreting it and translating it into your newsrooms across the country. To that point, one of the things that I think is really interesting, and this is one of the most, if not the most important study that our firm has conducted in many years. And I know the three of us talk about it every day with somebody because it's so powerful and you don't want to let go. But I really also believe, and I'm a competitive guy by nature, that if you can achieve, these items, right, these action items, and your newsrooms can achieve them, you have a clear competitive advantage. Everyone isn't doing it, right? And we want to believe in that. We're broadcasting this and it's done by a trade organization. We want everyone to have this information and to be able to take use of it. But as you're thinking about your property, your newsroom, your job, this is also a competitive advantage. You're getting a little bit of a secret sauce here, and you're listening to the consumer. They're telling you what they want and they're not getting it. So I know everyone's leaning in. Ellen Crooke, Sean McLaughlin, always great to be with you and always enjoy the conversation, the discussion. Thank you both, and thank you all for listening. Thanks for joining us.